Welcome to Digital Swag. My name is Lance, and today I'm going to show you how to recreate this minimalist Christmas tree in Photoshop. Let's go. To follow along, you'll need to go to my Facebook page and download the image. The link is in the description below. Once you have the image, we'll create a new layer by pressing the new layer icon. We're going to create the inner and outer layers of the Christmas tree on different layers. To begin, select your polygonal lasso tool or pressing L on your keyboard. We'll start with the front of the tree. Click and drag to outline all the areas that make up the outside of the tree. Now just click and drag. Once you get to the end of your selection, you'll know it because near your cursor, you'll see a circular icon. Great. Now go to your foreground and background color, select a medium light color. I'm choosing a light yellowish green. Click OK. Make sure your layer is selected and then click Alt-Delete to fill that background layer. You can click on and off the layer to see the work you just did. Let's continue. Make sure the top layer is selected. Let's continue. Click and drag, repeating the same steps that we did previously until you see the small circle near your cursor. When you do, you'll see small marching ants. Press Alt and Delete to fill that selection. Next, select the Christmas tree layer and let's decrease its opacity just enough so we can see the work we've completed. Click back on the top layer and continue making the shapes that form the outside of the Christmas tree. Click on the eyeball next to the Christmas tree layer to see the great work you've just completed. Now, let's rename the top layer Front. Now let's click the eyeball off of this layer and we'll create a new layer by going down and pressing the new layer icon. Let's go ahead and name this layer Shadows. We'll utilize the same techniques that we used to create the front layer to create the shadow layer. Zoom in nice and close. On this particular step, we're going to actually overlap, and you'll see why in a moment. To select the color that was used in the original image, click the original image layer. Turn its opacity all the way up, then click on the foreground color. Select the dark green, press OK. Next, decrease the opacity, select the shadow layer, and press Alt-Delete to fill your selection with the dark green color we have just chosen. Now, let's drag our shadow layer beneath our front layer. Now, continue to follow the same steps we did previously to make your shapes. Perfect. It looks swag-tastic. Next, we'll make the star. Select the front layer, then click the new layer icon button. Let's name this layer Star. Let's zoom in nice and close and trace the outside of the star. Okay, with your Christmas tree selected, go to the original Christmas tree layer, increase the opacity to 100%. Click on the foreground color. Select the red inside the star, press OK. Decrease the layer's opacity once more, select the star layer, and press Alt-Delete to fill that selection with the red we have just chosen. Okay, next, let's click on the eyeball layer next to the Christmas tree. Looking good. Now what we want to do is increase the opacity layer of the Christmas tree. So click back on the eyeball to make it active. Turn the opacity back to 100% and let's drag the Christmas tree layer to the very top. And click on the eyeball to shut that layer off. Next, select the front layer. Control-click to make a selection. Next, select your foreground color. Choose the dark green. Click OK. Hit B on your keyboard for brush tool. Make sure your opacity and flow are decreased. And just brush on the outside like so. Hit Ctrl D to deselect. Select your shadows layer. Control-click the icon to make a selection. Decrease your brush size. Click the new layer icon to make a new layer. Now click on your foreground color. Select a dark green color. Any dark green color will do. Press OK. Starting at the top of the tree, we're going to make small brush strokes at the top and the bottom of each selection to give the appearance of shadows. Repeat this step all the way down. Now on layer 1, click on and off the eyeball to see the effects. Let's duplicate layer 1 by hitting Ctrl J. Now shift click to select both layers, right click and select Merge Layers. Select the shadow layer. Holding shift, select the star layer. Press Ctrl G on your keyboard to put them in the group. Let's rename this group Tree. Press Ctrl J to make a copy of the group. Right click on the group, select Merge Group. That will combine all the layers we just made into one group. Next, click on the eyeball next to the tree layer to disable it. Next, select Create Fill or Adjustment Layer. Choose Hue Saturation. Clip the clipping mask icon near the bottom. This will allow us to change our Christmas tree to any color we desire. Pretty neat trick, huh? But for our purposes, we'll keep the tree a traditional green. Select the garbage bin. Press OK to delete. Next, we'll work on the text. Select T from your toolbar. Click on the character panel, click color and choose white. Click OK. Type out Mary and reposition it. Click the check mark to accept it. Reposition your cursor over Mary, press and hold Alt while you drag it to the right. Let's rename this layer Christ and click the check mark to accept. Place your cursor over Christ, hold Alt and drag text over once more. Double-click the Christ copy layer and rename it to MAS. Let's reposition our text. With the MAS layer selected, use your left arrow key on your keyboard to nudge the text over. Great. Double-click the Christ layer, choose Color, and click on the star to choose red. Press OK. Highlight the Mary layer. Click the FX icon and choose Drop Shadow. Click OK. Next, hover your cursor over the effects layer, press Alt and drag up to the Christ layer and release. Press and hold Alt again and drag effects layer up to the MAS layer. Click on the arrows to collapse the layers. Let's put our text in a group. Press Shift and select MAS, then hit Ctrl G to group it. We'll rename this layer Text. Click on your background layer and click on Add New Layer. Click on your foreground colors. Let's choose a medium dark blue. Click OK. Press Alt-Delete to fill your layer selection. Go to Filter, select Filter Gallery. Ensure your texture folder is selected and choose Texturizer. For texture, select Sandstone. Feel free to play around with these settings until you get the desired effect that works best for you. Click OK. Wow, our Christmas tree looks fantastic. Next, select the tree copy layer and press Ctrl-J to make a copy. Click the eyeball off Tree Copy 2 layer, press D on your keyboard, and then X to change your foreground color to white. Then, Control-click Tree Copy layer to select it. Press Alt-Delete to fill your selection with white. Turn Tree Copy 2 layer back on. Click on Filter, select Blur, Gaussian Blur. Use the settings that you see on your screen. Press OK. Click on your blend modes and select Overlay. You're doing great, Swagtastical. Select the Tree Copy 2 layer. Click the FX icon and select Drop Shadow. Play around with these settings as well until you get the desired effect that works best for you. Then click OK. Next, let's turn our attention to the star. Select your polygonal lasso tool and carefully outline the star, being careful not to touch the tree or the star. When you're done, hit Ctrl, Shift, and J. That brings it to its own separate layer. Double-click Effects. That brings up the Layer Style window. Choose Bevel and Emboss. Play around with these settings until you get the desired effect that looks best for your project. Then click OK. Congratulations on making your minimalist Christmas tree in Photoshop. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to receive weekly updated content. And as always, God bless, and I'm out. Peace.